Welcome to Violet Light Tarot. This is the Cancerian reading for lessons and takeaways for July of 2020. Welcome to all Cancerians. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and of course cross-watchers are always welcome. Please note that this is a general reading for all Cancer energies, so if you are looking more for something very specific to you, please check the description below for the website to purchase an individual personalized reading. Otherwise, please take what resonates. Do not make fit anything that sounds like it doesn't fit your energies. It's just meant for somebody else who's also listening. So Cancerians, how has your July been? Let's find out what lessons and takeaways you were intended to come away with after your 31 days of July. Oh, there we go. So we're starting out with the Hermit. We have the Ten of Swords, the Knave or Page of Wands, the Lovers. This one wants to come too, so we'll just use those for the clarifiers in a moment. But Cancerians, what I'm seeing for you is that you've had a month of basically keeping to yourself and going within and really doing that soul searching that you've been wanting to do lately. Things have been, I know, really trying or challenging for Cancerians in the past few months. So you were able to, this particular time, really delve into working on yourself with regard to what lessons were intended during this time and what you were supposed to really take away from those particular experiences that you've been having for the past while. You have been feeling definitely just run over, as it were, with regard to either people. Now, normally a card, the Ten of Swords in this respect, shows the person being stabbed in the front, so seeing things coming at them and just not being able to veer away from it or stop the oncoming hurt and incident. And unfortunately, this has been the case for you. It's not necessarily that you've been stabbed in the back necessarily, because you saw this coming and just couldn't get out of the way. So I'm very sorry for all the things you've been going through lately. But what I'm seeing, though, is that within this particular month of July, you've really had that time to sort of perceive what lessons you may have been intending to learn from it. And the Page of Wands is sort of a new spark that's been growing within you with regard to an energy. Now, the Lovers card doesn't necessarily have to speak of lovers. It could be the duality of a Gemini you've been dealing with. It could also be the duality within self. The Lovers card, again, of course, could be very self-explanatory and have to do with somebody that's come in with you most recently, and that's great that you've had somebody come towards you this particular month. That's been somebody you've been waiting for, wanting, and having that connection with, or in turn growing a connection you already have in existence. So the clarifiers that we have for this particular spread is we have the Ace of Cups clarifying for the Hermit. So I see the Ace of Cups in this respect as not being necessarily a brand new offer within love, but actually a brand new offer from self-love. So as I mentioned, you've been going through it quite a bit. And in this instance, you've actually been able to offer yourself that love that you've been sort of feeling neglected from. So maybe you found a new hobby or a new way of doing that, whether it happens to be, you've tried home spa treatments, you've tried meditating, some new aspect to that extent. Maybe yoga has been a thing for you lately that you hadn't done before, that it's really been a moment of self-love as opposed to an offer coming in from outside. The Ten of Swords is actually clarified by the Hangman. So even with all of the introspection that you've been doing and all of the self-care that you've been doing that's brought you into a more energized space, or is trying to bring you into a more energized space. You have been feeling quite stuck in the energy of really over experiencing, or just in your head about and going over everything that you've experienced. So you've really had that sort of, it's almost an Eight of Swords that you've been stuck in, where you've been feeling very trapped in that going over again and again and again, and just feeling like you've been stuck and stagnant in that energy of, look at all the stuff that's happened to me. You've been trying with the self-care to get rid of that, but you have had that overwhelming, all of this stuff has happened to me, all of this stuff has come towards me, you know, you've almost had a what next kind of thing, and you've been stagnant and hanging there waiting for the next shoe to drop, waiting for, you know, the next thing that's coming at you that you can't stop. So you have been doing the self-care, which is awesome, and you have been finding ways to grow through it and figure out the lessons, but you have been having that niggling feeling of, okay, but what's going to hit next while I'm going through all of this? I'm going through all the growth, I'm going through all the steps, and I'm doing all the things, but what's going to come now? So this is an energy that's been sort of sticking with you at this particular time. Oh, do I have two? Oh, I have two. Good. Okay, so the Page of Wands is actually clarified by the Four of Swords. So the it's a bit interesting that you've got basically the card depicting rest as being your newfound drive. So your new desire, instead of being an energy level or a new experience and a new excitement, is literally been a desire to rest. You've been on the go, as I mentioned. You've been going through everything, and even as in hermit mode, where everything is internal and just really in your head about things, and trying to learn the lessons and trying to go through the self-care and pushing yourself through all of the steps and all of the stages that go with that, and trying to find all the lessons and learning them. You're exhausting yourself in the fact that you're feeling like you're waiting for the next shoe to drop. So you're trying to learn all the lessons really quick so that whenever that thing happens, you're ready for it. Even though you know that you can never actually be completely ready for whatever the next thing is. And it's really put you into that just desire to rest. And that's what this is. It's the energy and the desire to take a break is what you've been feeling. So the Lover's card in this is actually clarified by the Empress. And in this case, the Empress, of course, is fertilization. It's a birth of something. And again, like I said, it could be somebody coming in towards you, a renewal of a connection, or a new connection, or a leveling up of a connection. But it could also just speak to the duality within self, and you birthing into a new version of yourself, where you're able to bring that duality into an even keel, into an even state, so that you're both your own internal divine masculine and divine feminine are in tune with each other again, and you're birthing this new level of yourself that you will bring into August when it gets here. That's going to be more even, more low-key, able to rest when needed, able to meet things head on as they come towards you from that new perspective and those lessons learned that you've gone through from July and previously. So Cancerians, this is what I have for you for your lessons and takeaways from July of 2020. It's been a wonderful reading. I'm so happy that you've been able to get through all of this and come to this particular state that you're in right now. Even though right now you're still feeling a bit like on the low end, and I'm not happy you're there, of course, but I'm happy that you are progressing through the self-care and the lessons to get to a place where you can start to come into the positive angles as well. So thank you so much for joining. It's been wonderful reading for you again. And please like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And I'll see you again for the August predictions in a couple of days, actually. Thank you. Bye for now.